What's going on, everyone? I am back for another Percy Jackson video. Today's video I'm going to be talking about the characters in Percy Jackson, specifically the main characters. I want to do a character ranking, but obviously I can't include every single character because there's just so many and I had to draw a line somewhere. So where I drew that line, basically, there are 11 characters that I believe were the main characters in the series, and I'm just going to be including those characters in this ranking. These characters are characters that appeared over several books and actually had like development and had main roles and had things going on and weren't just there for like random purposes. Kind of like the Stoll brothers. They weren't main characters, they just kind of appeared at some points in time, but they didn't do anything really that important, so they're not included on this list. I am going to tell you who I included real quick, not in any specific order yet, but these are who I included. Nico, Clarisse, Luke, Talia, Rachel, Sally Jackson, Chiron, Tyson, and then we all know the last three, Percy, Annabeth, and Grover, obviously the main three characters. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this ranking started. Coming in at number 11, we have Clarisse LaRue. And we all know Clarisse LaRue, she's the daughter of Ares. She's a really kind of maniacal person, honestly. She's really crazy. She just has that war spirit to her since her dad is the god of war. You know, she appears over many of the books. I think she might appear in like every book, and even in the Sea of Monsters she has her own quest that kind of gets hijacked by Percy and his peeps. But she has her own quest. She was part of the reason that the Golden Fleece got back to the camp in the Sea of Monsters. And then obviously in The Last Olympian you have her defeating that Draken and really doing something that helped Camp Half-Blood to defeat Kronos in the end. So her development from the beginning when she was just bullying Percy just to be bullying him because she was mean, and then to the end when she actually helped the camp to defeat Kronos. It's just a really great development, and even though it is great, it's not as great as some of the other ones, and I'm going to get to that in a second, but yeah, that's Clarisse. So number 10, we're going to have Sally Jackson, Percy's mom, the one who got together with Poseidon and sired Percy against the big three pact that they wouldn't have any more children. But Sally Jackson is just a character who, yeah, she doesn't have that many plot points in the series, but without her, Percy wouldn't exist. And so she's main because of that. And also she appears in, I'm trying to remember, but I think she appears in all the books. She's always just this sweet, loving person who cares for Percy and wants the best for him. I mean, she stayed with a guy who smelled like a sewer just to mask Percy's scent from monsters. So I think that's reason enough to include her on this list. Alright, number 9, we're going to have Talia Grace. So Talia does not appear until the end of the Sea of Monsters, obviously. She is healed by the Golden Fleece. Her pine tree is healed. And when the pine tree is healed, she pops out and everybody's like, what the heck? Who is this girl? They find out that it's Talia Grace. And then in the Titan's Curse, the next book, she is one of the quest members that goes on the quest. Her role is really crucial in that quest as well. And at the end of the Titan's Curse, it was really interesting because she was supposed to turn 16 at the end of the Titan's Curse, and that would have meant that the Great Prophecy was about her because she was a child of the Big Three. But then she decided to become a hunter of Artemis, literally the day before her 16th birthday, and so the Great Prophecy was not about her, and so Percy knew that it was about him. I know Rick Riordan wouldn't have written it this way, but if Talia would have not joined the Hunters of Artemis, then she would have had to decide whether Olympus fell or was saved, and the series wouldn't have worked out that well. So it was good that she became a hunter and didn't have the prophecy be about her. But overall, she's just a great character who appears in the series many times and has great development, so she comes in at number 9. Alright, number 8, I'm going to have Nico D'Angelo, and he's at number 8 because he's kind of middle of the road. He doesn't have great development, but he doesn't have terrible development. He actually gets more development in the Heroes of Olympus series, but in the Percy Jackson series, which is what I'm talking about, he's not there all that often. Like, he first appears in the Titan's Curse. He convinces Percy to go on a quest to keep his sister safe, and then Percy lets his sister die, so then Nico hates Percy. But then at the end of the Battle of the Labyrinth, Nico comes back and offers Percy a option to make himself invulnerable in the River Styx, because Nico can easily take him down there because he is the son of Hades, and he can get in and out with no problem, unlike many Greek heroes in the past. But yeah, he's the whole reason that Percy got invulnerability, and Percy got invulnerability to save him from threats, which it did save him. So without Nico, he wouldn't have gotten that, and that's the reason Nico is very important to the plot, just because he gave Percy that invulnerability, and Percy wouldn't have been able to do what he did without Nico. Number 7, we're going to have Luke Castellan. I think that's how you pronounce his last name, Luke Castellan. He's the bad guy suffice it to say. You know, his character development is really great, actually. At the beginning of the first book, The Lightning Thief, he's really nice to Percy, and then by the end of the book, he's trying to kill Percy with a scorpion. Then obviously Luke joins Kronos totally, and he actually lets Kronos inhabit his body because Kronos can't form his own body yet. And he lets Kronos come to his body and become him. You know, that's really a selfless thing to do. I hate to say it. On the bright side, near the end of The Last Olympian, Luke does sacrifice himself to kill Kronos. So he becomes the hero of the Great Prophecy. And because of that, because he was such a nice guy at the beginning, then he became bad, then he let Kronos even take over his body. Then at the end he became good again and killed himself to save Olympus. He just has a really full story arc, and that's why he's in number 7. Alright, number 6, we're going to have Rachel Elizabeth Dare. Now, Rachel Elizabeth Dare doesn't appear until the Titan's Curse at Hoover Dam, but she immediately became a really important character, even though she only made a small appearance in the Titan's Curse. So, Rachel Elizabeth Dare is a mortal who can see through the mist, and I can't remember exactly why she wants to become the Oracle of Delphi at Camp Half-Blood, but she does. And so, she starts off by getting mad at Percy for swinging a sword through her, which I can understand. And that's in the Titan's Curse. And then in the Battle of the Labyrinth, they meet at Good High School, I believe, and she saves him from some monsters. And then in the Battle of the Labyrinth, she leads Percy and Annabeth, and maybe another person, I can't remember, through the labyrinth so that they can get to where they need to go because she can see through the mist. So she's really crucial to them reaching their goal in that book. And then obviously in The Last Olympian, she actually becomes the Oracle of Delphi, something that Luke's mom failed to do in the past, because Luke's mom can also see through the mist, but she failed to become the Oracle, and because of that she went insane. But Rachel did it successfully, and then she becomes the Oracle, and we see her also in the Heroes of Olympus series as the Oracle. So her story arc is just really full from beginning to end, and that's why I decided to put her in number 6. All right, coming in at number 5, we have Tyson, no last name. Tyson, no last name, is the son of Poseidon and Percy's half-brother, and the half-brother of a lot of other Cyclopes. He first appears in the Sea of Monsters. You know, I'm seeing a pattern here where a lot of characters don't really appear in the first book. He first appears in the Sea of Monsters and helps the quest team to obtain the Golden Fleece. And then in the Titan's Curse, I don't think he's really that present. I'm trying to remember. I don't think he's very present in the Titan's Curse. But then obviously in the Battle of the Labyrinth, he actually goes on the quest to save the camp. So he's really important in that book. And then in the 5th book, The Last Olympian, he's also very important in that he helps Poseidon take down Typhon near the end of the book. They like drown him into a river straight to Tartarus. It's really a cool scene. But Tyson, it helps that happen with Poseidon. And he's just someone who always sticks around, always helps out. He's a really nice guy. He's kind of dumb, but dumb people are usually nice. His story is really great from beginning to end. And that's why I put him at number 5. All right, number 4, we have Chiron, the camp director. Chiron is just a great character throughout the whole series. He's been training heroes for so long. When Percy comes along, he's just kind of dumbfounded because he didn't think that the big 3 gods, Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, would have another child, but they did. And so Chiron has to learn to cope with that and hopefully not gain Zeus's disfavor, because that would be a bad thing. Chiron appears, I believe, in every single book in the series, all 5 books. He's just a force that remains there all the time and is like the peaceful force in the camp. Whenever things go awry or chaotic, he's there to calm things down and make sure everyone's all right. Once again, he's just a great person, or a great centaur in the series, and that's why he's so high on my list. And I think you guys all knew what my top 3 were going to be, but the order may surprise you. So at number 3, I have Annabeth Chase. And I have Annabeth Chase at number 3 because, yes, we understand that she likes architecture. Yes, we understand that she calls Percy Seaweed Brain, and she appears in literally every book. But she does disappear for almost the entire Titan's Curse book because she gets kidnapped. And her kidnapping is basically the whole reason that the quest happens in that book, so it couldn't have happened without her getting kidnapped. But I still think that it was kind of bad that she was gone for almost the whole book. Other than that, her story arc is really, really great. And that's why she comes into number 3. She's one of the 3 main characters in the series. Her character development is really great. It's just that one little part in there where she was kidnapped that sets it back. All right, coming in at number 2, we have Grover Underwood. And Grover Underwood, I find his story a lot more appealing, I think, than Annabeth, because Over the entire series, well, until the Battle of the Labyrinth, he is searching for Pan, the god Pan that went missing a while ago. And in the second book, The Sea of Monsters, he actually thinks that he finds Pan, but then realizes that it's just a trap set by Polyphemus on his island, and he finds out that satyrs have been going there for a long time and getting eaten by Polyphemus because it smells like Pan is there, but he's not. But Grover is the one to actually find Pan, and Pan gives everybody a blessing in the Battle of the Labyrinth when they find him in Carlsbad Caverns. He gives them all a blessing, and then he passes on, and Grover gets to see it happen. And so from the beginning, when he's just searching for Pan, to the end when he finally finds Pan, it's a really great story arc. And also, he's Percy's best friend. He's with him through it all. He sets an empathy link with him and Percy. He's just a really great character. I'm glad we got to hear his story because it's really amazing. Alright, now at number 1, I think everybody expected this, but we have Percy Jackson, Perseus Jackson. Percy Jackson has the most full story arc from beginning to end, obviously. With him not knowing he's a half-blood, living with a sewer guy to mask his smell, his mom getting abducted, and the lightning thief, and him having to go rescue her. In the second book, he and his friends going on a quest that they were not supposed to go on. Then in the third book, he goes on a quest once again that he was not supposed to go on. Then he becomes part of the quest team and actually helps them to achieve what they were trying to do, so it works out. Then in the fourth book, he does go on the quest, saves Camp Half-Blood. Then in the fifth book, he saves Olympus itself. Instead of raising it, he doesn't raise it, he saves it. In the prophecy's words, he preserves it. Once again, he just has the most complete story arc. This series is about him, so he has to come in at number 1. Alright, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. It was pretty fun to talk about all those characters. Let me know if you think I left out a character. I don't think I did, but I might have, so definitely let me know in the comments if I did leave out an important character that you think I should have included. With that being said, go ahead and click subscribe right there. Go ahead and click up here if you would like to learn about the timeline that led up to Rick Riordan announcing that Percy Jackson was getting a TV series on Disney+. And then also go ahead and click up here if you'd like to see the top 10 things that I want to see in a Percy Jackson Disney Plus TV series. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.